Let's take a look at the footage once again. Something I want to break down, as I showed before. I mean, take a look at this. I mean, no offense, but you got to be a complete moron if you believe this. Let's take a closer look at this. I mean, again, I talk about where are the stabilizers being used as this basically a pencil of a rocket's falling from space, from the sky, and there's nothing.
Did the universe move for you too?
Oh, don't you start.
Why don't we light up?
XB2 calling Casa 7. Come in, Casa 7.
I'm speaking to you over a Jimmy Dean
Casa 7
sausage.
Central Station to XV2.
Requesting landing clearance.
Say
Bringing
please.
spaceship CM7 in on tandem pull.
Landing platform in readiness. Please report at 10 miles. We'll bring you in for ground control approach. Out.
Out.
That was easy.
Looks like they bagged an albino 5-point buck.
You have to look at her, sir.
Yeah, kind of squint. It's backing up.
Stand by twin landing platforms. Ready magnetic locks. It's only a matter of seconds now.
My sister Vina can't be any happier than I am.
You don't know Vina. You know Vina.
Look at this. This is us at the Grand Canyon.
When in Duluth, visit the lift bridge.
Sir, you're in an assigned parking space. Sir.
The orbit jet and CM7 and magnetic lock are safely landed, sir.
Can I have a cookie?
He's got a really high butt.
Now, the official story, what is given, they're using these so-called grid fins to use as stabilizers as this supposed rocket comes in for a vertical landing. I mean, it's a complete joke. I mean, you would expect some type of stabilizer at the very top of the rocket. You know, coming down at this speed, there's absolutely no thrust on either side. And just, again, these fin stabilizers used to land this rocket. And one thing I want to point out as well, a lot of knuckleheads coming to my channel telling me, well, I seen the launch of SpaceX from the beach. I'm not disputing they launched this thing. There's no dispute about that. That's not the dispute. That's not the argument. The problem is this pencil coming in for a landing. That's what I'm disputing.
Sturgeon in space.
Now Rocky's gonna show us how to execute a Y-turn in the free fall.
This is Ken at landing controls.
You won't believe where I'm calling
The
from.
orbit jet is in the process of landing.
Know what I mean?
Good. I'll be there in a few minutes. Have Rocky wait for me there. Out.
That was the bad guys. And hey, it's 72 here in the metro area, and the orbit jet is in the process of landing.
I'm landing on burner number 3.
Hey, he hit my big wheel. There we go.
Busy. Look busy.
Well, all safe and shipshape thanks to Professor Newton's cold light.
Now can we go after the ladies?
With all the footage that should be available by SpaceX, all you have is this one vantage point. And again, you just see the rocket take off, but as you see in this diagram, as the first stage releases the second stage, there's supposedly a flip maneuver that takes place with the first stage before it comes in for its vertical landing. Now, getting back to these three clowns like I showed before, the Backstreet Boy Reject and these two, let's take a listen to what they say here.
You actually just saw the grid fins on the first stage pop out right there. We use those to dynamically steer the vehicle as it comes back down using air resistance as it passes through supersonic airstream
these
to
things.
get it back towards the landing zone 1 at Cape Canaveral.
Take a look at this junk. Take a look at that garbage. That's going to stabilize this rocket for a landing? I mean, people will believe this, they'll believe anything. Now listen to what it said here.
So it looks like the clouds are just beginning to break there, making for a pretty picture-perfect landing. No video from the ground like we expected earlier, but...
No video from the ground like we expected earlier. Give me a break once again. So again, you only have this external footage provided by SpaceX. I mean, with all the money they have, with Elon Musk being a billionaire, $13.4 billion, and I guess it doesn't fit in the budget to have more camera angles, camera views. With all the money he has, he could put cameras all around. And for some reason, once again, like it was stated in this video clip, that there's no video available of the landing. For some odd reason. Interesting, on Twitter with Elon Musk and his account, when asked, is there any reason that most of the landings appear to have been at night so far? And Elon Musk states, it's much easier to do the CGI that way. I mean, this is complete mockery once again. This is how they love to mock.
Let's just give up.
You know, a fella could make a real funny comment about that if he was so inclined.
Well, they shouldn't have bought that furniture at Office Max, you know?
I'm coming, Elizabeth.
If I could only ram into the landing berth.
If I could only turn into a leprechaun, you know?
Yes, only in this weather we're going to have our hands full. Hat thrust, Mickey.
Hat thrust?
The house began to twitch, the hinges to unhinge.
Orbit jet to space station OW9. Andrews, can you come in? Space station OW9, come in.
Call back in about a half an hour, okay?
Throw on your magnetic lock. We're trying for the landing berth. Throw on your magnetic lock.
You do it, I'm better.
Oh, say the secret word and Bill Cosby rips your show off.
Winky, when we get into the berth, full power.
Standing by, sir.
Better one? Better two?
Magnetic lock on, Rocky.
Right, Andrews.
And they fell for it. This ought to be fun.
At Casino Royale.
That desk is scratching the heck out of those oak floors.
Oh, time's up.
This movie's about the birds and the bees.
Now, Winky, full power, all she has.
Well, that's not much.
You see, guys, when a spaceship loves a space station very, very much, you get this here. Oh boy.
Attention, all hands on Winky.
Ooh.
You know, I'd be relieved if I knew what was happening.
Well, guess that office furniture wasn't a bad idea.
A little bit.
Here is a hall section of the ISS. Also, you need on a separate video layer objects in virtual space that can move around by software, such as the paper on the wall, the netting there on the back, this contraption here on the right wall, and there's some box or something bungee corded above there. Now, all those objects are on a separate virtual layer, so they can be manipulated by software to look as if they are floating around. And of course, our three stooges here who are pretending to be astronauts. These guys are also on a separate video layer. And what makes it even worse, they're not even in the same room together. Thanks to the technology of telemetrics, which can bring people in from all over the place and put them in a virtual reality environment. So what you're about to see, if the camera that contains the virtual reality layer, okay, glitches out, okay, or has maybe compression errors, then that layer will also glitch out, and this is exactly what we're going to see now.
Thank you very much again. Thank you for your time. Have a good flight and many more exciting experiments on the orbit. Thanks a lot.
Now, when they said goodbye, I guess the virtual reality camera was cut off. And so the objects that were on the virtual reality layer, the objects that needed to be floated in space by 3D software, vanish out. I want you to notice the hull, the other camera, the stage prop, the hull of the ISS, stays perfectly in focus. If this had been a compression error from the ISS, the whole video would have washed out, but only the virtual reality layer gets washed out here. Also note, you can see the green screen behind the guy right about here. When he's there, it is, the green screen right there behind him starts to show, and then they cut to mission control.